Hey there, CalJam people. Thank you for giving us your email so that I could gift you this video. Like I said, it just felt really important to me this year that I wanted to give you some tips and tricks that me and my team have kind of put together over the last few years. What do you do when you go to all these different seminars? And like CalJam, there's all this music, there's all this stimulus, there's all these amazing speakers, no shortage of information. And then you come back to your life, you come back to your rhythm, you come back to your comfort zone. What are you going to do with it? Like I asked in my talk, what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? So this is a way that we can come together, keep it simple, make a big change with everything that you just got dipped into. So, number one, remember who you are. It's the big idea. It's our chiropractic principles. So get out your green books. Read the story of that something. If your staff doesn't know these chiropractic stories, give it to them. Share it with them. If your practice members don't know, we have the 33 principle cards. You can email me if you have any questions about that, but we'll pick one every couple weeks and we just talk about it in the office. I'm going to talk about it on social media. We can get really distracted with everything that's going on outside of our control, but we need to root ourselves back in our principles, get really, grounded in who we are and what we stand for. So step one is always remember who you are, and root that in that sturdy chiropractic principle and strength. Number two, life is always happening for you. You see this picture of this woman holding, that's me, little girl me, and my mama. I think about her all the time. And I would give anything some days all days really, to have her here close enough where I could physically hug her and wrap my arms around her. But it's the butterfly effect. If I changed one thing in my life, or I altered it or switched it, even the hard stuff, the really, really, really painful stuff, if I thought I knew better, that challenges the source that I came from that sees the bigger plan. Life is always happening for me. It's made me this woman that I am. And so that doesn't mean that life is easy. I want you all to know that you're loved and supported and that there's support out there. It does not make the tough times easier. It ain't going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. So, look at areas of your life that you might be stuck because, it's taken me a long time and I'm still processing the grief of what her cancer journey was like, what those last few months were like. The pain is still very, very real and it's been years. So it's not an overnight snap out of it, and it's certainly not pretending that it didn't happen. It's just choosing to believe that there's a higher purpose in all of it, and that when I cling to her memory, I'm going to make the most out of it by letting it be a charge to live better, to serve better, and to honor her memory by all the gifts that we shared. So life is not happening to you, but for you. Number three takes us to be kind. I think out of really good intention, we want to go out into the world, especially after something like CalJam, where we're talking about the clean air, and we're talking about the foods that we eat, and we're talking about vaccines, and we're talking about all of these really heavy subjects. And when you come back, you're so charged, your spouse might not be able to connect with you. Your patients are going to get rattled and shook by this alive version of you. And that's good, but you've got to temper it with kindness. That saying is, be kind. Everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Parents today, man, they got an uphill challenge with, there's all this different information. So there's people out there saying that if you vaccinate, your kids aren't safe. And if you don't vaccinate, your kids aren't safe. And so the way that you show up for them in real leadership is starting with kindness and patience. So be kind and remember all of the things that have had to happen along your journey. Like I shared with you about my son, Roman, I didn't know what I didn't know. And it took the right kind of kindness in a leader with Dr. Lawrence Palevsky with the ICPA that sat with me and said, look, I don't want to make you wrong, but vaccines are not safe. And here's why. And he invited me into the safety of that relationship to make a real educated, empowered change for my family. And that is how I believe that, us in the chiropractic profession can really show up in the way that we're destined to. And it starts with kindness and love and patience. All right. Number 4 is tell the whole truth. So social media, it gives us an opportunity to get in front of large groups of people by virtual means, just like this video. And sometimes, people will hear me say, like, I don't vaccinate my kids, or, I have 5 kids and I'm all for natural and home births because I am. But the whole truth is that I'm not perfect, and my births didn't go exactly like I wanted them to, and I'm not a perfect mother, and I don't eat perfect all the time, and I don't exercise always as much as I need to. I'm not perfect. That is the whole truth. The whole truth is that I'm human, and the way that I show up for the women in my practice, the men in my practice, the babies and kids in my practice, is by opening my whole heart to them and saying the whole truth. See, I know these truths. I know these principles. I feel very solid in my education about what is good for the human body, in that I do believe it's safer for me to not vaccinate my children. I do believe that GMOs are dangerous. I do believe these things, and I'm human. And so painting the whole picture of them to where, because what's happened, we have this culture of authority and control, and that can make people feel really small. Now, we get the big idea in chiropractic, and that's that people are so big and so beautiful, and that their power is completely unlimited. And so the way that we show up for them is painting the whole picture. Yes, we know these truths. Yes, we are firm in these principles, and we're human beings. And so inviting them into this space where there's no shame. Because like I shared with you as well, if you shame someone, if you make them wrong, you lose them. And we don't need more fear. We don't need more anger. We don't need more sadness. We need more connection. And the whole truth is that, hey, I'm a chiropractor, and I'm going to be here to adjust you, to check you, and make sure your body is connected and working at its highest potential. And if you screw up, or if it's not perfect, or you choose to do things differently than I do, I'm not judging you either. My job is to show up as someone you can trust, to provide a safe space for you and your family. And so tell the whole truth. Now we're going to go to video number 2, so you can click on the next link, and I'm going to give you the tips and tricks that you didn't get at CalJam. But thank you for joining us at CalJam. Thank you for playing all out. I hope that if you're on the other side of this, I had a chance to hug you and connect with you. If you need anything in today's socially connected world, you know how to find me. Please come and check out the big idea, and you can go check out the other 6 of my top 10 how to implement CalJam energy in your next video. Mwah!